Good morning and welcome back to our Beauty Out of Maya episodes. My name is Fidel Adabaraza and I am so grateful that you are tuning in. We had taken a little break for me to just be able to process all these things that I'm also even narrating with you. You see, as I narrate back to you, I'm also internalizing and processing, and I must admit that it's a healing process for me as well, because these are things that I had never spoken about for quite some time now, for several years past. The experiences that we have gone through, the two of us, myself and my daughter Raziela Miracle, but yet we have just been going through the motions without necessarily being able to unwind. And I'm realizing that as I share with you, I'm also unwinding. I'm also, reflecting on all this and processing. And so when you see that I take a little break, it's just because probably I also need to just be able to internalize and come to terms with all these. And I thank God that we are right back. And so we are going to be picking up from where I left, and that was at the place where Raziela had been infected with cytomegalovirus as a result of the blood transfusions that she had received. And cytomegalovirus simply means CMV, or most of the time is referred to as the CMV infection. But before we proceed on, allow me to take this time to also thank you for tuning in to this episode of Beauty Out of Maya. We are so grateful that you are cheering us on. This is the story of Raziela Miracle, and she is an 11-year-old girl that is flourishing by the grace of God in the city of Nairobi here in Kenya, defying every odd of cerebral palsy and autism spectrum disorder. And we want to thank you as you cheer her on by subscribing to her YouTube channel and keeping in tune with our weekly episodes. You could turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new episodes as we upload them. I am her mother and her mouthpiece because she is currently pre-verbal. But as God enables her and in future she begins to talk, you will hear her voice. She'll speak about her own life and her own experiences when time comes. Yes, and so just continuing with this whole story, when Raziela got the cytomegalovirus infection, she became very sick and nothing seemed to work. The doctors were trying hard all they could, but she wasn't responding positively in any way. And so all the blood works and cultures turned negative to the infections that were being tested. But Raziela was very sick. Her body temperatures would spike and nothing seemed to work. Her incubator was switched off, and I would sit next to her incubator and continuously sponge her with lukewarm water just to be sure that she doesn't get out of control with all those, with the high fever, the temperatures. And at one point, a professor doctor at the hospital, one of the doctors that were working on her, came and ordered all foreign objects to be removed from Raziela's body as a measure to see whether she was reacting to foreign objects that had been inserted in her body. And that included the oxygen prongs and the cannulas. And so simply to mean that even medications were stopped. The oxygen was concentrated in her incubator instead. And for the cannulas, they simply stopped all the medication to give her system a break. And that was a polite way of saying, let nature take its course. And so suffice to say, the doctors had given up on little baby Raziela. And that was in the month of May 2010, a month after her twin sister had passed on. And like rubbing salt in a wound, then she was turned into a guinea pig for learning sessions, for those medic learning sessions. And that was because they believed she had very minimal chances of survival. And they would come and surround her incubator in her absence and do their learning sessions on her. And, other patients, other mothers would tell me, of course, but there was nothing much I could do since I was the, at the doctor's mercy, so to speak. I needed her to be well. I was desperately needing her to be well. And at one point, one of the student doctors removed some fluid from her spinal cord for her practical lessons. And I learned of it at some point. And at another point, two other student doctors inserted a catheter in her bladder for fresh samples of clean urine from her for their medical research. And I actually found them in action and inquired of what they were doing. And they told me. And that was awfully painful. But I did not have much to do since I was desperate. And all I wanted was for that baby to be well. And when the doctors had completely given up and ordered all the foreign objects to be removed from her body and allowed nature take its course, I want to let you know that God took over. And He did what no one else could have done. God is indeed in control, and He's indeed a good God at all times. And His word is always true. When Paul says in Romans chapter 8 verse 28 that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to His purpose, I can attest to that. During one of those many learning research sessions that were being done using my baby as the guinea pig for a specimen donations, her blood sample was taken and sent to Germany for investigation to understand what she was ailing from. And now, as I was informed, the research was to take at least 7 days before the results would be out and posted on the internet. But my baby's health had deteriorated so much by then that none of us, not even myself, not the doctors, thought she would last for even 3 days. So in essence, the doctors were carrying out the research just for their own information anyway, and probably to be able to be informed and get to know what she ailed from and how to treat other patients should that be. But thank God, who works in ways we cannot understand, and He makes a way where there seems to be no way. God shortened the duration from 7 days to 1 day. And on the second day, a doctor decided to go to the web just to check on other things. And there it was, Raziela's results posted from Germany. The infection had been identified and the medication prescribed. Cytomegalovirus, it was cytomegalovirus infection. And the medication was intravenous and to take a minimum of 21 days. And so the treatment was commenced immediately and the baby started improving. Praise the Lord. For your information, cytomegalovirus infection is passed from a mother to a child or through blood transfusions, as was the case for little Raziela. And so this particular infection affects people with low body immunity. Otherwise, we have many carriers of the disease that are not affected by it due to their immune stability. But as mentioned earlier, Raziela's immunity had been so much lowered by the 2 cycles of dexamethasone steroid that she had received to boost her lungs because of being a preterm baby when she was born. And the sad bit is that the doctors later explained to me that this country does not screen for cytomegalovirus infection before blood donations are done, since the country does not have machines to do that. Or perhaps at that particular time, maybe at that particular time in 2010, I want to believe. If situation has changed now, I don't know. But then that is what the doctors told me, that the country did not have machines to do that. And hence, there were very high chances that a lot of blood donated, could have cytomegalovirus. And what do the person transfuse if they have low body immunity? That was our case. But thank God that He helped us. He helped Raziela. And so Raziela got completely healed of the cytomegalovirus. Thank you. Allow me to take a pause here, and we'll be right back with this continuation of this story, God willing, next week, Friday. So kindly keep tuned in, keep sharing us on the Beauty Out of Maya channel as we defy the odds of cerebral palsy and autism spectrum disorder, the life of Rosiella Miracle, and as you also keep being encouraged and being ministered to by the Lord. God bless you, and thank you for cheering us on.